Um, my name is Emily. I work with Minnesota Valley Action Council. So I know some of you have attended the meeting before, some of you are new. So welcome. Our guest speaker today is Heidi from Care Counseling. They have a couple different locations, one being in Mankato. So we're happy to have them here today. The first 15 to 30 minutes of the meeting will be our guest speaker, and then we'll open it up for questions and move into roundtable where we can talk about different agency updates or events happening in the area. So Heidi, you can take it away. And I think you're still muted, so I just wanted to let you know. Okay.
Afternoon, everyone. I'm going to give a quick caveat that I am living in the fall season where colds and germs are ever present. And so I might have a bit more of an abbreviated presentation today because my throat tolerates about 10 minutes of talking and then I start having some different reactions. So I might be a little bit faster and pause for questions a little bit more. I've got my warm water and I'm going to share my screen as I'm chit-chatting here and just share with you all a little bit about myself first before I jump into care. So I am a licensed psychologist. I am the vice president of training at Care Counseling. I've been with Care for about 7 years now. And I really have just a passion and an energy and exuberance around the organization because of how long I've been with it and just how I've watched it flourish and really establish as a leader in the mental health field for a variety of reasons. So I'll share about those different experiences as I kind of go through today's deck. I'd like to tell kind of more of the personable story because that is kind of the heart and hand alongside of how we work within care. We have I would say, a more community and personable oriented connection that we enjoy making with community partners such as yourself. So it's an honor to be here to connect with you all and just to be a part of today's meeting. So I have just a few slides. You'll see me go through them here on the left-hand side. I'm going to keep them visible so that you can kind of see where we're headed next. But the first slide I just want to cover as a continuation of what I had mentioned. Right now, we really see ourselves as differentiated in the market from a lot of other mental health clinics because of our training platform. And I know I'm biased to talk about it as being somebody that leads training here, and it's fairly substantial. And so I want to share that with you so that you have kind of an awareness as to why we are deemed as one of the top mental health clinics. Our key differentiator is that we have over 100 hours of continuing education internally for our clinicians. So anywhere from pre-licensed to licensed folks, supervisors, they have over 100 hours of live continuing education. And then we have a training library that just continues to grow with all the live trainings as well. And so there's just a plethora of specialty training, of generalist training, and of cultural responsivity. It's a main focus of our training throughout the year that helps us to own and really lean into that top mental health clinic term, because why we invest in training is we know that when clinicians are well informed, are well trained, have the knowledge and information in order to do their job well and to show up the most effectively with clients. Clients are going to have the best experiences. Referral partners are going to have the best experiences. And then the ripple effect is that, that continued healing and wellness permeates throughout our community. So it's something that we pride ourselves in. It's something I always like to start off and talk about. So the next thing that I always like to share is our mission statement. So CARE's mission is building a community to strengthen the community. And what that means is we focus on building a strong community of clinicians. We hire and retain top tier talent so that, again, we're making sure that we're providing the most effective and quality culturally responsive care. And so as we are building this community of strong clinicians, we are also then strengthening and helping support the community at large. So our focus is on clinicians first so that, again, we can provide that best possible care throughout the community. And our hope is that by partnering and engaging with you all, that we will continue to help strengthen and build community, especially in the Valley areas too. The other thing that I think is so important and another differentiator of CARE is that we're celebrating our 10th anniversary year. So the co-founders began CARE 10 years ago and have grown it into this incredible community of clinicians and established providers that are eager and dedicated to supporting the community. And the biggest part of that growth was that the founders really saw this gap in being able to have accessible care within the community. And so throughout the last 4 years in particular, there has been a significant growth because there's been a continued growing need for mental health care throughout the community, which I imagine you all are experiencing or recognizing as well. And so as the demand and the need for care continued to grow, then so did CARE. And we now have 10 locations, one of which is in Mankato, which I'll give you the address in just a minute. And so the biggest piece that I think is important here is from the time that I started at CARE 7 years ago, the mission and drive has always been the same, which is to continue to provide the most accessible care possible. So I've got a slide a little bit later that talks through what that accessibility means. And that is, I would say, the main mission and part of why our growth has been what it has over the last 10 years. So these are our 10 locations. As you can see, I pulled out the Riverfront one. There's a bit of construction on Riverfront right now, so it's not the most convenient location to get to. And I was just there yesterday, actually, and the parking is accessible again, which has been wonderful. But it is a beautiful building that when you walk in, you'll see some pictures from a couple of other spaces that we have, but there's just this warm, welcoming energy. And one of the biggest investments that CARE has made in their locations is to create spaces where people feel that sense of wellness, right? So if the space feels well cared for, then that helps both clinicians to show up well, as well as clients to feel like they can gain a sense of wellness within those spaces too. And so there is a fair amount of intentionality and just, that sense of connection into the space that permeates all of our different locations. The closest other location, if you work within kind of a valley area, might be Bloomington. And I'm not sure if anyone is located with the outside outskirts from there. But if you want more information about each of our locations, you can find so on our website. So when I talked about accessible care, the three main things that we really strive and focus on is making sure that we're providing in-person as well as telehealth services and telehealth services that are competent and consistent. And so we follow all of the highest standards of practice and the regulated procedures in terms of providing telehealth services. We just launched a new electronic medical record that has the telehealth built in to the EHR, which enables just that most secure platform to meet over telehealth. And that's something that is really important to us, so that when clients are seeking telehealth services, they know that they are getting them in a way that is the most compliant and protective of their privacy. We provide teleservices from all of our clinicians all throughout the state of Minnesota. So even if your Mankato location has a little bit of a wait time, you can get in with a clinician throughout our other 10 locations and even throughout the state of Minnesota via telehealth, usually in same week. And that's our second main mission with accessibility, is to make sure that we can maintain that same week availability. So again, that was a large part of the growth, and our continued growth is how do we stay committed to making sure that when somebody is ready to reach out or seek support, that there is an available service at the time in which they are having that courageous call or scheduling online for a first appointment. So that same week availability is so important. There are some caveats to that. Of course, 4 and 5 p.m. timeframes are a little bit harder to come from, or hard to come by. Also, under 14, that might be maybe 2 or 3, 4 weeks at max availability. So just some things to think about there. But generally, adults 18 or older, we can get same week pretty easily. We also accept all major Minnesota insurance and many other outstate and other tri-state area insurances as well. And we do also accept all state plans. So that accessible care extends beyond, just the availability and the, how you reach therapy, but also how you can access it through your insurance as well. The next thing I'll talk a little bit about is our clinicians. And this is something that I feel very prideful about as well. Having been here for several years, I have been able to interact, collaborate, and consult with so many of our talented, incredible clinicians that we have. So we have about 250 at the Mankato location that's, a smaller subset of that, of course. Our clinicians have a wide variety of expertise. They come from all different clinical backgrounds, licensed marriage and family therapists, licensed clinical independent social workers, licensed drug and alcohol counselors, licensed professional counselors, and then we also have licensed psychologists. And then in addition to that, the pre-licensed folks for all those different licensed tracks. And so through that, we have all these different ways that we can join into somebody's journey depending on what kind of care that they're looking for, whether it's individual, couples, families. We also work with all age ranges. So the youngest we see is 2, and the oldest I think right now we have is 92. So we see 2 to 92. And we work with all different types of presenting concerns. So we are a generalist mental health clinic, but we see anything from, depression, anxiety, trauma, PTSD, substance use concerns, OCD, eating disorders, sleep concerns, self-image, grief and loss, different life transitions, and so forth. And all of our clinicians have different, trainings and backgrounds and specialty certifications. And you could find a lot of that information on our website, which I'll talk about in just a minute as well. The biggest piece here that I want to emphasize is that while we have this wide variety of expertise, we have all of these different clinicians, again, we have a strong emphasis on continuing that education and training and learning so that our clinicians, no matter what background they're coming from, they are still staying up to date and the most relevant and prevalent information that's being released in the field in terms of the most effective and evidence-based practice. So we are really emphasizing that our clinicians are well informed and trained and have access to training that is related to how do you provide the most quality care within the community. I'm going to pause just to see if there's any questions and take a sip of water. Okay. So the next thing I like to show is just a little bit of a sample of what our sites look like. So there is a color scheme and theme that is unique to each of our different sites. This is reminiscent of what you're going to see in Mankato as well. If you go to our website, go to our locations page, you'll be able to click on the Mankato site and then there's pictures of that actual site. So if you're curious or if your client or individuals that you're working with are curious about what it looks like or what the office might feel like, you can bring them to that web page and they kind of get that look and feel. And sometimes we find that that helps to create one less barrier that people might experience when they're thinking about scheduling an appointment or seeking out mental health care as well. And the other piece that I'll mention with this too is we are community of professionals in a way that has, I would say, a lot of pride around keeping our spaces as well and cared for as we can. As I mentioned earlier, the biggest piece of that is we want our clients to feel comfy and comforted and that they are in a space that we are holding a place for however they might be showing up. And so our clients really speak to the homey feel in each of our different sites, even though they're in a little bit of an office building, especially in Mankato. There's it's a brick building that's got 2 levels and it's it looks more like a formal office. And then you go into each individual clinician's office and there are their own, unique personal characteristics and items and ways that they get to kind of demonstrate and show their personhood with the clients and create a different sense of connection and I would say hominess in the respective offices that they might see. And you'll notice that via telehealth as well, because a lot of the clinicians that provide telehealth are doing so from their office too, which is just another way that you can get to know that space. And the last thing that I generally talk about is how to schedule sessions. So right now, there's two main ways that you or others can call in or schedule online. So you can call the main number that's on this slide. It's also on our website, and you'll get prompted to get routed into our scheduling or intake team. You can also, or clients can also go online and click on the schedule online button, and that's going to take them to a web form where they're going to be able to fill out some initial information that we need to gather in order to make sure we can place them in the best way with the best fit for their clinician. I will say with both calling in and scheduling online, if clients or individuals that you're working with have an idea of who they want to work with, sometimes that can be really helpful too in kind of pinpointing who would be a good fit. And so you can find out by going to our Meet Clinicians page on our website who has immediate availability, who has availability within the next month, or who might have a little bit further out availability. You can also sort on our website by specialty, by type of client that individuals work with, whether it's individual couples, families, kids, teens, adults. You can sort by what the presenting concern is. So if people are wanting to come in specifically for substance use concerns, you can sort the clinicians that work with substance use concerns. And so when the individual calls in or you call in with them or however that might work, then you might have a list of like 3 or 4 clinicians that you would be curious about their availability. And you can also put that in the web form as well. So that can, again, help the scheduling team get a little bit more fine-tuned in finding that right fit. I also often say, there are a fair amount of clinicians that have a little bit of a wait that have been here for quite a while and have established caseloads. And if the client or, whoever you're working with is, resonating of that, that can work well overall for them too. Or you can work with the admin or scheduling team to find that first available person who also has the area of specialty or practice that you're looking to gain some care around. I'm going to stop now and just see if there are any other questions before I wrap up in a little bit.
You're very thorough. I think you did a good job.
I'm very comfortable with silence too. So that will be a thing that whenever I come to present here, I can probably wait for another minute or so to see if other people have questions. So feel free to chime in, or you can even put them in the chat. I'm pretty chat friendly as well, and can peek there to see. It looks like there may have been a question earlier, so I want to just attend to that one. So generally for providers allowing people to book a few appointments at a time, this admin or scheduling team can help to do that. So let's say that the individual wants to schedule like the first 3 sessions. That's certainly something that we can facilitate. You'll still need to go through, the client will still need to go through the initial scheduling portal and or call the phone line, and then we can get those set up. And I would say that's usually the best case scenario. We also train our clinicians to schedule usually, in batches or recurring, especially if the client has a specific date and time that is important for them to get scheduled in. We want to make sure that we can do so effectively.
How many clinicians do you have based out of the Mankato location?
Yeah, so right now there's 20 on site. There's about 30. So some people work from home in that area.
Mhm.
I will say that a lot of the work from home clinicians in that Mankato area are serving kind of the greater Valley area, more so than like the city proper, because we're finding that, people from the direct Mankato area are really preferring in person, but more so like New Ulm and other cities that are surrounding are leaning into the telehealth so they can get in a little bit sooner.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Heidi, do you have interpreters for
We do.
the non-English speaker?
Yep. I believe we have, well, we certainly have Spanish speaking clinicians. We also have clinicians that speak Swahili. And there was another one that came through. It's a newer clinician, so I don't want to name it until they've started. But I'll say that there are a variety of different languages that our clinicians speak. Oh, French was another one that just came. Somebody started that speaks French. But we also have interpreter services as well. So that's something, if it's important to the client, that when they're scheduling that initial intake, we can start facilitating that process.
Heidi, one more question. Do you work with the county to see individuals who do not have insurance?
Great question. So I'm not sure that we have a direct line with the county for individuals without insurance. I do know that we have a sliding scale program. So if individuals qualify for that, we can facilitate services through that program.
Thank you, Heidi.
Mm-hmm. The last thing I'll mention, and feel free to pop in if you have another question, is if you ever want to have a site visit and just come over and meet clinicians or the site lead or myself, certainly reach out to me either through Emily, or Emily can provide my contact information as well. And I'd be happy to either arrange a tour or jump down there myself. I usually come down about monthly. I have family in Mankato, and so I do some caregiving with my aunt down there and come down fairly often or consistently. So I can schedule different meetings or connection points while I'm there. Usually I come on a Friday and then stay for the weekend. So I just wanted to give that as another caveat too, if it would feel meaningful for you to see the space. All right, well, my throat lasted longer than I anticipated, so I'm so glad that I was able to be with you all for the last 20 or so minutes. If there's nothing else that you have, all I can jump off for the rest of your meeting. I'm just grateful that I was able to join for this time frame.
There's one question in the chat. Are there clinicians who offer non-traditional hours such as evenings?
Great question. The latest that I know that clinicians will often have sessions is 6 p.m. As of now. There's a possibility that there's a telehealth or a Twin Cities clinician that has later hours or weekend hours, but at the Mankato location in particular, I'm not aware of anyone that has later evening.
With
But great
the
question.
Mankato, sorry, Heidi. Do you know if the Mankato location, if anyone would be open to like doing presentation to talk about counseling in general for diverse immigrants, refugees, because a lot of times counseling is kind of like a foreign concept for them.
Yeah, certainly. We have a speaker, they're from the Twin Cities, that goes to different community organizations here in the Twin Cities, but also will come down to Mankato. Actually, I think we're gonna learn from Hannah Dufek at one point. So hopefully we can get that rescheduled. In any case, we do have a presentation that's sort of an about counseling that gives just that kind of general framework of what to expect, what is counseling about, and what are some, ways that people might experience it, and what they can anticipate from the first few sessions and so forth. And then they can speak directly to how, we incorporate culturally responsive care practices and interventions and bring in cultural humility and responsivity to the care that we provide as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, feel free to reach out and I can start to set that up too.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
I'll be sure to include your contact information. I usually type up a summary of what we talk about today and then send it out to the group. So I can certainly put your contact information in as well. And then if you
Lovely.
wanted to send me the PowerPoint, I certainly
Yeah.
can share that as well.
Great. I will do that right now.
Any final questions? Otherwise, we can chat about agency updates and what's going on in our various agencies. So thank you so much, Heidi.
Yeah.
If
Thanks
nobody
for
has
letting me
any
join
other,
today.
yeah, I really appreciate it. You have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Perfect. Yeah, so again, for anyone who's new, we usually just kind of go into roundtable where we talk about different agencies, maybe updates or changes, programs available, or events coming up. Usually this is held quarterly, the second Wednesday of every third month. So yeah, I don't know if anyone wants to start with updates or questions or.
Okay, nobody wants to start. I might as well start. Hi, I'm Michelle with Blue Earth County Employment Services. I do have a co-worker who is on today too. Her name is Melinda. She's another job counselor with myself. If you haven't seen or heard about her before, then she's new to this group, so thought I'd have her join today and all the good stuff. Update to our agency is that we are receiving more referrals for cash assistance on the MFIP and the DWP program, and also for people who are applying for SNAP benefits, food benefits as well. And we have been sharing a front desk receptionist with our counterpart in Steele County for quite a long time. But we have decided that that receptionist is going to stay over in Steele County. So we are currently in the process of just about to interview for our front desk position. And if I'm correct, I think there were like over 50 applicants who applied. But we've narrowed it down and we'll start the interviewing process for our front desk. So that's our update. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for sharing. That's a lot of applicants.
Michelle, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I talked with a family the other day who is in the United States for education. Their youngest child is a U.S. citizen. Could they get MFIP, do you know, for that youngest child?
Too many variables. Cannot answer that.
Okay.
Totally eligibility question.
So they would have to talk with an eligibility worker at the county.
Yes. Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Yep, definitely. Lots of circumstances could be considered, so.
Okay. Actually, I will ask that same question of Families First. So would they be eligible for the early learning scholarship? There's two young children. I think like 3-in-1. So would they be able to get early learning scholarships for one or both of the kiddos?
Yes, hi, Kate. They can apply and qualify by income, and all they need is a Minnesota address. And I'm new to this group too. I'm Marlene at Families First, and we serve 28 counties with this early learning scholarship. And at some point, I was going to ask Emily if you want me to present, in the future. But I think this is a great thing for a lot of families all over this. It's statewide. We administer it for 28 counties, but it's dollars from the Department of Children, Families, and Learning to pay for quality childcare for kids birth to 5. And families qualify once and then they can renew until the child goes to school. So I'm sure it would be great for a lot of the families that all of you serve. But yes, Kate, that family should apply. And we have the online application now, so they can go right to that.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. We can certainly connect. I can't recall offhand if I have a speaker for December, so we can certainly talk about an upcoming meeting. So we'll connect after.
Yes. I didn't want to be so bold as to, offer on my first meeting, but
No,
anytime.
It's all good. If you I always open it up to suggestions, and then I just try to reach out and kind of go from there in terms of who people are interested in hearing about, and or if they have a resource that they know of that they'd love to share with others. So yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, I can share some MVAC or Minnesota Valley Action Council updates. Energy Assistance Program applications are available now. I don't know if you've seen them or were aware of that, but I just wanted to share that if any of your offices need some applications, you can certainly reach out, I'm sure, to any of our MVAC offices to get some, or you can reach out to me and I can try to help coordinate that. Applications are now through May of 2025, so they can apply at any time. Funding usually doesn't arrive until sometime in November, but we definitely encourage people apply as soon as possible just to get their application turned in and submit it. So our annual lip sync fundraiser did have to get rescheduled due to some teams having some scheduling conflicts. So the new date for that is Friday, February 21st, 2025. More details to come, but you can also, we have a Facebook page for updates on that. I think we're looking for more teams to be lip sync teams as well as sponsors. So I'll put that in the follow-up as well. Yes, we also have an agency newsletter called The Pulse. So if you aren't signed up for that and you're interested in, you certainly can sign up. Or if you have clients that want to sign up, it's right on our website just for updates about our programs. Let's see, our employment and training programs, we're always accepting applications. Most of the enrollment happens through Career Force. Specifically, our Drive for 5 and our WISA grants are needing participants. Those I can share a little bit more in detail, but they're specific to 5 kind of key occupation topics like the trades, caring careers, manufacturing, IT, education, and then our WISA is for women wanting to go into non-traditional fields. And we also have our adult dislocated worker and Pathways to Prosperity grants. So if you know anybody that needs help doing career exploration or help with school if they're in school, if it's something that's in demand in our area, we might be able to help. But applications and enrollment happens through Career Force, and then depending upon what program they're put on, they might be transferred over to someone at MVAC. So just wanted to reshare that. And then we're always hiring, so feel free to have clients check our website. I think Head Start has some positions open. And a few other areas too. So that's kind of what I have. If there's other MVAC staff on the call from other departments that I missed, like Head Start, and you have some info to share, feel free to chime in.
Emily, do you have any information on the diapers available through MVAC?
So as long as they're a client of ours for any of our programs, I think they can access that. I'm not sure exactly if it's monthly that they can get that, but I know that we do get, I want to say we get diapers quarterly. Don't quote me on that. I guess it's recorded, but I think we have a pretty good amount available yet. So as long as they're working with someone, they can just ask for them. So yeah, there's a form we have to fill out when we hand them out. But yeah, if you know of somebody that's working with someone or going to any one of our offices, you can have them ask about that. So yeah, did you have more specific questions? I think the biggest size we have was 5 or 7. I'd have to look back. I know that's been a question before.
It is 7, Emily.
7? Okay, thank you.
Yep, you can go into any county office. They all should have them stocked up. So if they're utilizing any of our programs, they can come in and request them.
And Laura, do you know what kind of demographic information is gathered?
Yes, it is child's name, child's name receiving the diapers. So like name, size, age, and then it's also parent's name, phone number. Don't need an address or anything, just what county they live in, and that they're in one of our 9 counties. And then income, we don't ask for proof of anything, but they just need to write down income. There's a line that states yearly income. So just so that we know, but we don't ask for proof of anything.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, I
I
can
can go
talk a little.
next. Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Oh, okay. Paige with Vine. So for those of you who don't know Vine, we help older adults in the community with a variety of services. I wanted to talk about a couple upcoming things we have going on. So next Tuesday, we have the Love Your Age Vine's 55 Plus Expo that is going to be held Tuesday, September 17th from 1 to 5 p.m. at the Mankato Civic Center in downtown Mankato here. So we have 88 vendors that are registered to meet with people and hand out goodies. We have some games, some socialization opportunities. We have a speaker series going on. We have a presentation about healthy eating as you age by Monarch Healthcare, and a panel discussion about life after retirement. We have a chair yoga exercise class, a bunch of different door prizes people can sign up to win. There'll be some free snacks and beverages there as well. And we also have free health assessments. So we'll be doing balance checks, blood pressure checks, and we also will have a fall vaccine clinic available for people. It's free and open to the public. No need to register. People can come down anytime during the event, and there's free parking in the Mankato Civic Center ramp. If anybody has any questions about that, feel free to contact me. Otherwise, if you visit our website, vinevolunteers.org, you'll see a button right on the homepage there to lead you to more information about the expo. We also have a couple of evidence-based programs coming up that are free and open to the public. One is called Stepping On. That's a fall prevention class for older adults. That will be held on Wednesdays, September 18th through October 30th from 12:30 to 2:30 here at the Vine Adult Community Center. We also have a diabetes prevention program that begins on Tuesday, September 28th. It's held 1 to 2 p.m. and that is a year-long program. So that's a little bit longer, a little bit more of a commitment. Again, that's for people who are pre-diabetic. The whole point of the program is to improve their health and lifestyle so that they don't develop diabetes. And then we also have our annual Rake the Town event coming up this fall. So that'll be held November 2nd through the 10th. We help older adults in Blue Earth and Nicollet counties homeowners who need help with raking their leaves at their house. So if you know anybody who is an older adult that would need help, send them to Vine. We have a short intake process that we do to get them started in our program, and then we recruit a bunch of volunteers. So if you're interested in volunteering, we would love to have your help. You just choose the time during that November 2nd through the 10th, a day and time that works best for you, and then we assign you houses in your preferred neighborhoods to go rake for. Again, everything I talked about today is going to be on vinevolunteers.org, or you can feel free to give me a call. My direct line, the number at Vine is 507-387-1666. Or you can send me a chat here too.
I can go ahead and share some information on Lutheran Social Service. We have a lot of different programs, adoption, foster care. We also have financial counseling. Most of those services are free of charge. So if you know someone who wants to understand credit reports, wants to set up a budget, would like to buy a house and figure out what they need to do to get ready for that, needs help paying off figuring out how to pay off their student loans and if they might qualify for a forgiveness program. It would be great to connect them with our financial counselors. We've also got the services for homeless and at-risk youth through the REACH, and that includes Safe Harbor, which is trafficking prevention services, guardianship, conservatorship, our meals. And then I coordinate the crisis nursery, which is short-term child care when families are experiencing stress, ages 12 and younger, and we use licensed providers like Family Child Care, Center-Based, etc. I need more providers. So if you know anyone who is licensed to do care, I absolutely hate it when I have to tell a family there's no one available. And then just to let you know, I did about 67 days of care in August. So it was a really busy month. And recently I've worked with two families that are staying in hotels, a family that's staying in their car, and a couple of families that are in shelters, but they're within days of meeting the maximum time limit they can stay. I do have a question for Gretchen, so maybe I'll snowball things to her. Gretchen, do you know if the family where a child is a citizen, if they would be eligible to apply for the housing choice voucher?
I was going to pop in when that conversation was happening. I don't know. I forwarded it on to my coworker Andrea. She does the wait list and enrolls people into Section 8. So I have not heard back from her. But I will ask and I'll let you know because again, I don't know, like Michelle was saying, it depends on the rules and stuff. So I don't know who needs to be an actual citizen or approved. So I will get that info and I'll get it back to you.
Thank you.
Do you want me to continue on? Were you done or? Okay. So I'm Gretchen. I work with the City of Mankato in the Housing Department. My title is Family Self-Sufficiency Specialist. So what I do is I work with Section 8 participants with my program. It is a voluntary program, but we work on budgeting, improving credit, potentially using their housing voucher to purchase a home. It's really just kind of a resource for me to help them achieve whatever goals they may want, get a job, go back to school, buy a car, anything like that. Kind of similar to the FAME program, but not quite. FAME, they're actually saving their own money. My program, when they increase their earned income, we actually begin a savings on their behalf, so they don't have to put any actual money into it. We would save the increase in the rent that happened because of their increase in their earned income. So other than that, our wait list is open. We are looking at now 2.5, possibly up to 3-year wait with everything going on. So we have the Section 8 wait list, and then we also have Homework Starts with Home vouchers. Some of them are referrals from the school district. I also work in partnership with LSS The Reach. We have foster youth to independence vouchers. They need to be in foster care at any point in their life for any time frame. So they could have stayed a weekend in foster care and they would be eligible to receive their FYI for short, so foster youth to independence vouchers. I work with those. We currently have 12 vouchers, and I think the last time I checked, we have 9 leased up. But we meet every other week with the Reach ladies. I'm actually going there tomorrow. Every other Thursday, I'm there in the afternoon from 2 to 4, not just to talk to the youth that I'm working with, but also any youth who are there who have questions about housing. And the great thing is about this Homework Starts with Home, if anybody, any of the youth are there and they don't actually qualify for FYI, we can sometimes look to see if they qualify for Homework Starts with Home. So we're really trying to collaborate with that and get people into housing as soon as possible. So I'm not sure if everybody receives, we usually have a list of units that are available that comes out every Wednesday. We try to forward that out to other agencies, but we do let people know that if they do have a voucher, they have to ask if those people take vouchers. It seems almost daily landlords change their mind on whether they're going to take a Section 8 voucher or not. So that is usually the first question we tell people to ask, just so they don't sign a lease and then we cannot help them. Other than that, I don't think I have any. Oh, I have one more update. I have it on my screen. Next Thursday, if you guys are looking for CEUs, is the MSSA Region 9 Fall Conference. It will be happening at South Central College. I'm going to try to put the link in the chat. You can register. I think registration closes probably tomorrow, but you might be able, and you can register when you get there. I don't know how much lunch will be there, but you can certainly try. I know this has gone out, so I apologize if you're getting it more than once, but we're really trying to push it. So I hope that link will work. But yeah, I think that's all the updates I have.
Gretchen, do you know if an agency still wanted to like have a table to share their info? Are you still taking like vendors?
Yes. Are you talking about the email you forwarded me?
I don't remember forwarding an email, but
I think it was Shauna from Families First.
oh, okay.
I
Yep.
did forward her information onto Sarah Menon, who is one of our conference chairs, conference planners. And she had decided she didn't want a table, she just wanted to attend.
Okay.
But if anybody wants to table, they can reach out to me and I can forward your information over. I don't know when that cutoff is, but we could certainly try to get them in. So
Yep.
This is Sarah Busing from Greater Mankato Area United Way. It's not really an agency update so much as just information on an event that we have coming up. Also on Tuesday, September 17th. This one's in the evening, so attend Vine throughout the afternoon, and then come on over to the Ellerby Room at the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center for an opioid and fentanyl crisis awareness education time presentation. We'll have provider resource tables available from local providers, and be doing a presentation with Sheriff Jeff Wursel, Tina Olson, Matt DeRose, a former correctional officer, Kara Richardson, and then an opioid survivor of Katie Bergman, to give a presentation on the history of opioid and fentanyl in our communities, signs and symptoms of substance use disorder to look for, and then Katie will be telling her personal story. And yeah, it'll be a really interesting event and presentation given, like I said, by those speakers. There will be a panel with questions that folks can ask anonymous questions and have those answered by local public safety as well as providers. So if you have any questions, I can get a flyer sent out to you, Emily. Like I said, that is also next week, Tuesday. So, oh, from 5:30 to 7. Sorry, doors open at 5.
Okay, yeah, that would be great if you could send a flyer, and then I'll include it when I email everyone. So it'll go out to individuals that maybe couldn't attend this meeting too.
Great.
So, perfect, thank you.
I can share next. My name is Mary Kate. I'm with Mankato Area Adult Basic Education. I'm going to put our schedule in the chat. That's really what I'm going to be talking about. So our first semester schedule is linked in the chat. Can I share my screen, Emily? Is that fine? I think I can. I'm gonna.
Oops, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, if it lets you, go for it.
Can you see things?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. So this is our first semester schedule. I'll make it a little bit bigger. We started this week on Monday, and we've had a super busy week with new students coming back. All of our classes are listed here. Anything that's blue with a that's underlined is a link to the flyer. So feel free to open these up and share them with your clients or in your agency waiting rooms. The bulk of our classes, just to give you an overview, we have GED and English as a second language classes during the day, Monday through Thursday, from 8:30 until 1. We have various subjects available for GED and various levels available for ESL during the day. We do have a new offering for GED at night. This is the first session we're offering of online GED prep at night. That begins next week, Monday, and that information is linked here. Those classes are 5:30 to 7:30, Monday through Thursday. Depending upon what students need, they can attend 2 nights a week or all 4. It can be pretty flexible based on their schedule. So for GED, we have day and night. I should mention that these daytime classes, when you see the word HighFlex, that means that students can attend in person at our building at the Lincoln Community Center, or they can attend online from home or wherever they have internet. At night for GED, it's just online. ESL, we have 5 levels available during the day at Lincoln Community Center. Level 5 and level 6 are offered HighFlex, meaning that students can be online somewhere or here in the building at Lincoln. And students do have the option to determine if some days they're online, some days they're in the building. It's super flexible for people, so that's a great option. We do have an evening program for English that's online, and this is our 3rd year running that. We have 5 classrooms with 6 levels offered for online at night. And we do have a North Star basic computer class that is starting on Monday. So it could be a quick turnaround, but if you have any clients or people you're working with that need computer skills, this would be an excellent option. This is starting at our basic computer level, and that is in person or online, 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. If someone really needs computer help, they probably should come to the building and not try to do it online. It can be quite frustrating to get there. So we would recommend they do that in person. And all of our in-person offerings are at the Lincoln Community Center. And you can find the address at the top. And we will have a new round of bridge classes coming this fall. We have our healthcare bridge and manufacturing. Those will be starting at the end of October. So anyone interested in starting a career in either the healthcare pathway or manufacturing, you can give them our information and have them start the process now, even though it doesn't start to the end of October. There's a little bit to do on the front end to get them ready for that. So send them to us as soon as they mention they're interested in either of these areas. Towards the bottom, we have our regional and statewide course offerings. These are always 100% online. They're often taught by different ABE programs throughout the state. So taught online just to reach more students. English for Driving is coming up in November, and TEAS Prep started this week. I don't think students can join that. TEAS Prep is for students who need to take the nursing school entrance exam. CDL permit prep, this is class B, and this is just to prep them to pass that permit test. This does not offer any behind the wheel or on the road training, just that permit test prep. And paraprofessional, that has monthly starts. I believe it started this month already, but there will be time to get people in for the October start. All of our information is at the bottom, our phone number, our text number, email, and you or individuals can scan the QR to get to our registration form. Any questions about any of our classes or offerings? Thank you.
Yeah, I'll be sure to share that too with the group after.
I can go next unless anyone else wanted to. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep, go for
Okay,
it.
perfect. I'm on a different microphone, so I wanted to be sure. My name is Rebecca Hayden. I'm a resource coordinator with the Minnesota Senior Linkage Line. We're a free statewide service through the entire state of Minnesota, but specifically, I'm out of the Mankato office. I kind of rotate with a few other of our resource coordinators in the area attending the meetings. So sometimes you'll see me, sometimes you'll see one of my coworkers. But we help about 37 counties in the Minnesota River area. So we actually are housed out of the Minnesota River Area Agency on Aging. That's what our senior linkage line is housed out of, basically. I did drop our senior linkage line website in the chat, so you can kind of just see what we're all about. We help all Minnesota seniors. We have phone assistance. I, as a resource coordinator, I go to people's homes or help them over the phone or in person with anything from I need help getting home from a nursing home safely, or I'm struggling with being able to stay in my home safely, but I don't want to leave my home. What can I do? Just helping find services and resources for people to remain safely in their homes. We have a lot of people who call in to our phone lines for help with Medicare assistance. That was one thing I wanted to just make sure to bring up for anyone who's not familiar with it. Open enrollment period for Medicare is coming up this fall. So it's from October 15th through December 7th. That's where Minnesota seniors can call in and have their Medicare plans reviewed, look at different plan options, and that's where they can switch to a new plan with no penalty through Medicare, basically, during that time frame. So it's just kind of a nice time. Our phone lines are very busy. I will let people know that, but it is kind of the time to do it. So I just like to highlight that for people as well. But if anyone has any questions about Senior Linkage Line or more what we do, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rebecca, do you know if Senior Linkage Line has ever had a booth at the Project Community Connect?
I don't, I guess I don't know off the top of my head. There's so many of us who different things. Which one is that sounds so familiar to me. Project Community
It's
Connect.
in April of each year, and Gretchen is actually on the provider committee, so she might remember better than I do.
Okay.
Or maybe MNRA and the Senior Linkage Line maybe shared a booth.
Yeah, that sounds really familiar to me, and I just can't for life me remember for sure. And where is it located?
We have it at the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center every April.
Okay.
Oh,
Mayo
and
Event
actually,
Center.
Sarah Busing is on the provider committee also.
Okay.
So if you aren't currently attending that, we tend to have at least 500 low-income people in our 9 counties attend, plus about 80 some providers. So it would be a good way to get your information out.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would assume that's probably something we've had a presence at in the past. But yeah, if I will definitely reach out to our outreach team. We meet with our different outreach teams monthly as well. So I can definitely ask our outreach team if anyone has heard of that yet or has worked with anyone yet about that Project Community Connect for this coming April one then. So yeah, I would be more than happy to check into that because sounds like a great event and a great way for us to get our name out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Rebecca, do you have a direct line?
Yes. Well, I have a direct, so there's like our main senior linkage line number, and then I have a direct extension myself that can come to me. Yeah, I'm more than happy to give that out to you guys. So once you dial that 800 number that's listed on the website, my extension is 82033. And I can put my email in the chat as well. So
Thank you.
sure. Yeah, and my email is actually at MNRA because it's the Minnesota River Area Agency on Aging, but I'm technically Senior Linkage Line. It's kind of confusing. So, but yeah, feel free to email me or give me a call if you have any specific questions about that stuff. I'm more than happy to answer it.
I looked up our registrations. These are from last year, so I apologize, but it looks like Erica, is it Schott? SCHOTT. So she registered under both MNRA and Senior Linkage Line. And I think so they must have shared a booth at that time. And I'm guessing they were there this year too. So just so you know, that's who our contact was.
Perfect. Okay, that makes sense because I'm like, that sounds so familiar, and I'm like, I'm sure we would have been at that event. So perfect. I'll double check next time we have our outreach meeting and just make sure that we're on the list for sure though. So,
Okay.
awesome. Thank you. Great question.
Nicole from Legal Services. I haven't been to this meeting in a long time. Usually Erica comes, but she wasn't available today, so I got to come. So I guess I get to talk about what I want to talk about. So I'll put a link in the chat and then I'll send Emily some other stuff. We are doing like an online webinar. So here's the registration link. We're going to be talking about welfare fraud. So clients who are accused of lying to the county about their benefits. So we're going to do a presentation both for potential clients and any community partners that want to attend, just to tell people what their rights are. And what we're really looking at is we represent people where they may have made a mistake or didn't report something, but it wasn't intentional. And that's really what the law is going after, is people who are doing it on purpose. So we focus on representing people where we think that they didn't do it on purpose and it was maybe an accident or a mistake. And we also have some flyers with our like QR code on them in 4 languages: Karen, Somali, Spanish, and English, and I'll send those to you, Emily, so you can share those with the group. But if you're able to attend our webinar, that would be great.
Thank you. I'll watch for those. Okay, any final updates? I forgot to mention our next networking meeting will be Wednesday, December 11th at 1. And I believe that's the last one on my prior calendar invite. So at that time, then I'll resend one up for the following year, if everyone's still good with this date and time and whatnot. But December 11th at 1 is our next networking meeting. But any agencies that had events or anything to share that maybe didn't get a chance to? Yep, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Erin. Can you hear me okay? Great.
Yep.
I'm working with MVAC with the Head Start program. Just a short update that we have about 36 people or so on the wait list. Our wait list is always open. We're always taking applications. We do a system of points, so people are given points based on their circumstances, and people with IEPs, for example, are up at the top of that list. So always encourage those people to come and apply with Head Start. Otherwise, we do have about 36, which is a pretty significant amount at this time of year, but we're always taking applications. So feel free to encourage people who are looking for preschool programs, age 3 to 5 especially, to apply with us. And then we also have a birth to age 3 home-based program that I can give more information about if you want to connect with me. And I'll put my information in the chat.
Thanks.
Erin, was that 36 on the wait list for Mankato?
It is, yes, Mankato specifically.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, it's 2 o'clock, so I want to respect everyone's time. Did anyone else not get a chance to share any upcoming events? Otherwise, I'll try to watch my email in the next hour or so and compile a summary of what we talked about, events coming up, etc., and get that sent out to the large group. But any final thoughts or questions? Otherwise, you're always welcome to connect with me after, and I can do my best to get you connected to a resource or to answer questions. Yeah. Otherwise, you all have a great rest of your week. Yeah, and I will work on sending out updates and putting this recording on our YouTube page so that if you want to watch it again, if there's something you missed or if somebody missed it that wants to watch it, it'll be available. So if nobody has any questions, then have a great rest of your week, and I'll hopefully see you at the December one.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.